A vision for sustainable development. Paragraph 1. The World Bank Group strategy sets out the corporate goals of ending extreme poverty and promoting shared prosperity in all its partner countries, securing the long-term future of the planet, its people, and its resources, ensuring social inclusion, and limiting the economic burdens on future generations will underpin these efforts. The two goals emphasize the importance of economic growth, inclusion, and sustainability, including strong concerns for equity. Paragraph 2. Inspired by this vision, the World Bank Group is globally committed to environmental sustainability, including stronger collective action to support climate change mitigation and adaptation, recognizing this as essential in a world of finite natural resources. This is reflected in the various bank groups' thematic strategies for the coming decade. These strategies recognize that all economies, particularly developing ones, still need to grow, but they need to do so sustainably so that income-producing opportunities are not pursued in ways that limit or close off opportunities for future generations. It recognizes that climate change is affecting the nature and location of projects, and that World Bank financed projects should reduce their impact on the climate by choosing alternatives with lower carbon emissions. The World Bank works on climate change because it's a fundamental threat to development in our lifetime. The World Bank is committed to supporting its client countries to manage their economies, to decarbonize and invest in resilience, while ending poverty and boosting shared prosperity. Paragraph 3. Equally, social development and inclusion are critical for all of the World Bank's development interventions and for achieving sustainable development. For the bank, inclusion means empowering all people to participate in and benefit from the development process. Inclusion encompasses policies to promote equality and non-discrimination by improving the access of all people, including the poor and disadvantaged, to services and benefits such as education, health, social protection, infrastructure, affordable energy, employment, financial services, and productive assets. It also embraces action to remove barriers against those who are often excluded from the development process, such as women, children, persons with disabilities, youth, and minorities, and to ensure that the voice of all can be heard. In this regard, the World Bank's activities support the realization of human rights expressed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Through the projects it finances, and in a manner consistent with its Articles of Agreement, the World Bank seeks to avoid adverse impact and will continue to support its member countries as they strive to progressively achieve their human rights commitments. Paragraph 4. The World Bank uses its convening ability, financial instruments, and intellectual resources to embed this commitment to environmental and social sustainability across all its activities, which range from the bank's global engagement in issues such as climate change, disaster risk management, and gender equality, to ensuring that environmental and social considerations are reflected in all sector strategies, operational policies, and country dialogues. Paragraph 5. At the project level, these global aspirations translate into enhancing development opportunities for all, particularly the poor and vulnerable, and promoting the sustainable management of natural and living resources. Therefore, within the parameters of a project, the bank seeks to 1. Avoid or mitigate adverse impact to people and the environment. 2. Conserve or rehabilitate biodiversity and natural resources and promote the efficient and equitable use of natural resources and ecosystem services. 3. Promote worker and community health and safety. 4. Ensure that there is no prejudice or discrimination toward project-affected individuals or communities, and give particular consideration to indigenous peoples, minority groups, and those disadvantaged or vulnerable, especially where adverse impacts may arise or development benefits are to be shared. 5. Address project level impacts on climate change and consider the impacts of climate change on the selection, siting, planning, design, and implementation and decommissioning of projects. And 6. Maximize stakeholder engagement through enhanced consultation, participation, and accountability. Paragraph 6. The bank's vision goes beyond do no harm to maximizing development gains. Where the borrower's environmental and social assessment has identified potential development opportunities associated with the project, the bank will discuss with the borrower the feasibility of including these opportunities in the project. Where appropriate, such opportunities may be utilized to promote further development. Paragraph 7. The bank will also work with borrowers to identify strategic initiatives and goals to address national development priorities, where appropriate, as part of country engagement. In supporting such development priorities, the bank will seek cooperative relationships with borrowers, donors, and other international organizations. The bank will maintain dialogue on environmental and social issues with donor governments, international organizations, countries of operation, and civil society. Paragraph 8. The bank recognizes that the achievement of sustainable development is dependent on effective collaboration with everyone who has a stake in the development outcome of a project, including public and private sector development partners. The bank is committed to the use and development of borrowers' frameworks to avoid unnecessary duplication of effort, build national capacity, and achieve development outcomes that are materially consistent with the objectives of the environmental and social framework. The bank is committed to open dialogue, public consultation, timely and full access to information, and responsive grievance mechanisms. Paragraph 9. This environmental and social framework converts these aspirations and principles into practical project-level applications within the context of the bank's mandate as set out in its Articles of Agreement. While this framework will not by itself guarantee sustainable development outcomes, its proper implementation will ensure the application of standards that provide a necessary foundation for that objective and provide a leading example for activities outside the scope of bank-supported projects.